The federal government is about to spend more servicing old debt than it spends on Social Security. Congratulations. According to the latest numbers, debt interest is now the single largest line item in the federal budget. It's bigger than Social Security, bigger than healthcare, 1.5 times what we spend on the military-industrial complex. At $1.4 trillion is more than double what it was just 2 years ago, and it comes to nearly $900 per month per household in America just in federal interest. Of course, that's not including the $18 trillion of private debt, so mortgages, car loans, consumer loans, which brings it to $1,350 in debt interest per month for the typical American family, which is close to what we spend on housing. Put differently, 28 cents of every dollar the federal government seizes from the people, collects in taxes, goes right out the back door to Wall Street and China. It's 47.5 cents as a percent of the income tax you pay. Keep in mind this does not include new debt, which Biden's handlers are on track for a $1.9 trillion deficit, which is a fresh $15,000 of national debt per household in a single year. The problem, of course, is that both parties are addicted to spending. Democrats want social spending, a good chunk of which goes to their army of left-wing activists. Republicans don't bother feeding their activists, they just feed the donors so they can blow up Ukraine's. Now, we can imagine a world where instead of horse trading welfare for warfare spending, they instead trade cuts in spending. That's actually how it worked before the Federal Reserve, FDR, and Richard Nixon killed the gold standard. To illustrate, we currently have $36 trillion in federal debt. Now, adjusting for inflation and population size, at pre-Nixon levels, it would be 6 times smaller. At pre-FDR levels, it would be 287 times smaller. At pre-Fed levels, it would be 500 times smaller. This suggests it's very easy to fix, close the Fed, restore the gold standard. Alas, that is easier said than done. So some common suggestions include a bipartisan commission like we used for base closings in the 1990s, or the perennially doomed balanced budget amendment, or my personal favorite, Warren Buffett's suggestion that if Congress can't pass a budget, they all have to resign. With a lifetime ban from politics, they would find a way. Of course, all of these would require adults negotiating in good faith, and this is Washington. Now, Trump tried trillions of cuts pre-COVID, and Congress laughed him off. That was both parties enjoyed the laugh. Leaving the standard historical outcome, the debt gets so big investors panic, they dump government bonds en masse, setting off a system-wide financial crash. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. It's easy to doom porn the debt. $36 trillion is a lot of money after all. And Washington looks light years from a solution unless Doge can work some serious magic. Still, we only have 2 options. Let the frog boil, plunging the nation into crisis, or do everything we can to hold the uniparty's feet to that fire while there's still time. A new episode of the podcast just dropped, rounding up the top stories in economics and liberty. Search Peter St. Onge on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.